Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Maybe as a completion for the hadith we discussed the past two nights, maybe we can go over the meaning of fitna in general, as mentioned in the Quran. I found an article that just basically goes over the verses that mention the word fitna, because it can have different meanings as well. Of course, in the hadith we discussed the past two nights, we mentioned that fitna means temptation or evil, vice. Basically anything that distracts and pulls the person away from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A test could be called a fitna as well. And that test could end up with you winning or losing as well. So the test as well is also called fitna. But let me go over those ayat. Allah says, أَحَسِبَ النَّاسُ أَنْ يُتْرَكُوا أَنْ يَقُولُوا آمَنَّا وَهُمْ لَا يُفْتَنُونَ. This is in Surah Al-Ankabut, verse number 2, which means that do people think that they will be left alone without being put through the fitna? Which means here, testing, right? And this indicates that it's part of this system that Allah created us in, that we are to be tested, and not only to be taken at face value by our claims. Do they think they will be left alone claiming to be believers without being put through the test? So this is very important. Now, also Allah says, وَنَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً, that I will test you. Nablu also means to test you, expose you. نَبْلُوكُمْ بِالشَّرِّ وَالْخَيْرِ فِتْنَةً, with evil and good as a test, fitna. It is mentioned in the Quran 60 times, the word fitna. Very important term, right? Such as, we're going to go through them now. He mentioned that it means that going through the test. Actually, also when you put a metal or a piece of rock that has precious metals in it, within it, like streaks of precious metal within that rock, and you want to extract those precious metals from the rock, and you put the rock into a very intense fire to melt and extract what is precious from, what do you call the leftover from the rock? It has a name as well, but I don't recall. But what is precious from what has no value, basically, right? That's why that's where that term came from. Allah puts people through the test to basically select from these people who passes a test and who fails, who deserves to be labeled as a true believer and who will fall into hypocrisy or kufr or whatever. Okay, that is basically meaning fitna. So it has the same kind of meaning as al-ihraq. وَفَتَنَّاكَ فُتُونَ, in Surah Taha, Allah says to Musa, وَفَتَنَّاكَ فُتُونَ, which means that I have put you through tests, test after test. وَالْفِتْنَةُ أَشَدُّ مِنَ الْقَتْلِ, in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 191, chapter number 2. Al-fitna here means shirk and kufr, because as I mentioned, fitna could mean evil, and the worst kind of evil is shirk, polytheism, associating with Allah. Allah says here, وَالْفِتْنَةُ means shirk is أَشَدُّ مِنَ الْقَتْلِ, is worse than somebody being killed. For him to fall into shirk, because qatl will only end this life. To be killed will only end this life, but you might go to paradise or Jannah. While shirk and kufr, associating partners with Allah, will be eternal fire of hell. So definitely al-fitnatu ashaddu min al-qatl. Also Allah says, وَقَاتِلُهُمْ حَتَّى لَا تَكُونَ فِتْنَةً. Allah commands the believers to fight, حَتَّى لَا تَكُونَ فِتْنَةً, so as not to leave any more chance or opportunity for fitna. Means not to leave an opportunity for the believers to be put under the test and under the pressure from the disbelievers to follow their ways, for instance. You follow? This is the fitna. Now, حتى لا يكون فتنة, also لا تكون فتنة, تكون shirk, so as not to allow for shirk to prevail, not to allow for disbelief to prevail. Now, فَلْيَحْذَرِ الَّذِينَ يُخَالِفُونَ عَنْ أَمْرِهِ أَن تُصِيبَهُم فِتْنَةٌ. This is a warning. Allah says, those who disobey the commandment of the Prophet, يُخَالِفُونَ عَنْ أَمْرِهِ. Amri means his command. يُخَالِفُون means go the other way. Means the command of the Prophet is this way, they decide to go the other way. Allah is warning such people, may Allah save us, that they might be afflicted by fitna. Here fitna means kufr as well, which means that you may start by disobedience, but if you continue going down this path, you may end up as a hypocrite or as a kafir. May Allah save us. Now, or fitna could also here mean punishment. Fitna could also mean punishment, means punishment because of disobeying the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, fitna, أو يصيبهم عذاب أليم. Fitna means punishment in this dunya. Punishment in this dunya. أو عذاب أليم could be in the akhirah. Okay, so Allah is warning that those who disobey the Prophet may be punished in this dunya or in the next life. نعم. جعل فتنة الناس كعذاب الله ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله فإذا أوذي في الله جعل فتنة الناس كعذاب الله. In the same Surah Al-Ankabut, Allah says some people claim and say we believe in Allah, but when they are afflicted by some kind of trial and or pressure from the disbelievers or pain from the disbelievers, he equates the torment of the disbelievers to the torment of Allah, which means that he gives up his religion so as to save himself from the pressure and the torment of the disbelievers. But what is he exposing himself to? Exposing himself to the torment of Allah. You follow? So he means, Allah says, did you equate or make these two equal? My punishment and the punishment of disbelievers? No, they should not be equal. نعم. جعل أذى الناس وعذابهم كعذاب الله في الآخرة. نعم. إن الذين فتنوا المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثم لم يتوبوا. Here فتنوا means حرقوا. This is in Surah Al-Buruj, talks about those believers who were set on fire because of the religion. فتنوا means here that they put them on fire, they set them on fire, and it also involves it also has a meaning of punishment, meaning of pain, or a meaning of a huge test to the believers as well, because they used to make them stand before the fire, say, do you disbelieve in Allah or we throw you in this fire? And whoever disbelieves in Allah, they let them go, but if they say, no, I believe in Allah, they throw them in the fire. Now, إن خفتم أن يفتنكم الذين كفروا. يفتنكم here means فليس عليكم جناح أن تقصروا من الصلاة. You're allowed to make your salah short while you're traveling. This initially was revealed to the believers as a concession while they're traveling, because they were always afraid as they're traveling from attacks from the disbelievers and the polytheists. So Allah allowed them to make the salah short, so as not to have to stop for too long. So Allah says, if you can make it short, initially this is how it was, but then it was generalized. Allah said that gave you this concession, so as if you fear that the disbelievers may attack you. Yaftinakum here mean attack you, but it also involves, affecting you in religion. They don't want you even to pray. If you stop and pray, they'll attack you. You follow? So it will always have the meaning of testing as well, or the meaning of something that wants to distract you and take you away from religion. You will always find that meaning going along with the other meanings too. You follow? فما آمن لموسى إلا ذرية من قومه على خوف من فرعون وملئهم أن يفتنهم. This is talking about Musa alayhi salam and his people. Allah says only a few of the people of Musa believed in him, and they were afraid from Fir'aun and his army and his soldiers that they might exert fitna on them. Yaftinahum here means yaqtulahum, to kill them, but kill them or take them away from the religion as well. Okay. وَاحْذَرْهُمْ أَنْ يَفْتِنُوكَ عَنْ بَعْضِ مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ إِلَيْكَ. And beware, they might take you away from what Allah has revealed to you. يَفْتِنُوكَ. وَإِنْ كَادُوا لَيَفْتِنُونَكَ عَنِ الَّذِي أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَيْكَ. The same meaning. وَمَنْ يُرِدِ اللَّهُ فِتْنَتَهُ ضَلَالَتَهُ فَلَنْ تَمْلِكَ لَهُ مِنَ اللَّهِ شَيْئًا. Whoever Allah determines that he will be put into fitna means allowed to go astray. Allowed to go astray. No one can help them. No one can help them. And of course, Allah doesn't determine that except because of the person's own actions and the person's own choices. Allah says, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُضِلَّ قَوْمًا بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَاهُمْ. Allah was not for no reason to take somebody away from religion without their own, doing. Now, it has other meanings. Even fitna could mean somebody who is insane. بِأَيِّكُمُ الْمَفْتُونَ, because they used to call the Prophet ﷺ as insane or crazy. So Allah says, which one of the two parties is the crazy one? بِأَيِّكُمُ الْمَفْتُونَ, him or the disbelievers who are saying nonsense. You follow? So maftoon here means majnoon, crazy, insane. وَنَبْلُوكُمْ شَرًّا يَا قَوْمِ إِنَّمَا فُتِنْتُمْ بِهِ. يَا قَوْمِ إِنَّمَا فُتِنْتُمْ بِهِ means you were tested. When they worshipped the cow, the people, the Israelites, he came back to them and said to them, يَا قَوْمِ إِنَّمَا فُتِنْتُمْ بِهِ وَإِنَّ رَبَّكُمُ الرَّحْمَنُ. You have been tested by this, but your true Lord is Ar-Rahman. وَالْفِتْنَةُ أَشَدُّ مِنَ الْقَتْلِ. I mentioned that to you. Stop here, inshallah.
Some people use it, وَالْفِتْنَةُ أَشَدُّ مِنَ الْقَتْلِ, for fitna, not for shirk.
فتنة يعني تفتن عليه.
To make a problem with fitna mean fitna.
Yes. Some people misuse that verse.
Fitna means making problems for others.
Yeah.
Islamically.
Yes. So because that's actually this is the word fitna in our layman term nowadays, not the real meaning of fitna. Means when I say I caused the fitna, means I caused some kind of trouble between you. You have this.
The workplace of trouble.
to create some trouble, but that's not the meaning here. So because creating some trouble is not worse than killing. Killing is definitely worse than that, right? So and that's why people misuse it. You cannot say. Yeah, even when somebody goes, like if you have two brothers or two sisters and somebody does something wrong, and the one goes and tells, you call tally-tell, that's what? Tally-tell, tell the father. That's in our also Egyptian dialect means, that's called fitna. Yaftin alayh, to make fitna. And we used to say each other when we were younger, al-fitnatu ashaddu min al-qatl. It's all wrong, yeah.